What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. FPL Harry here. FPL has been out for just over a week and a half now. We've been playing around with our teams. I did a first draft when the game had launched, but today we're going to have a look at my most recent updated draft. I'm very happy with it. So that's right, as I mentioned today, I'm going to take you through my most recent FPL draft. It's been the same for quite a few days now. I'm getting to a team that I'm pretty happy with and could see myself starting the season with, or if not, just a couple of tweaks. It does leave me with 0.5 million in the bank. If you've heard me speak about picking a team so far this season, you know how much I love having 0.5 million in the bank. It's definitely something that I think allows me to be more flexible and jump on those price rises early on in the season, but also be a bit more patient if I need to, because I have that flexibility of a spare $500,000. So I'm happy that this team does it. There are a couple of places that maybe I could invest it, but right now I'm keeping it in my back pocket. Again, if you haven't already, please join the prize league above me, a free football shirt for whoever is the winner. But let's dive into this team. Now we have a new goalkeeper. Ramsdale comes in. Gazaniga, the sort of backup at 4.0 million. I think he's probably got the highest chance of playing any sort of minutes at Fulham, but I don't really think there's a high chance of any of those 4.0s. We don't have a Ben Foster like we had last year yet. There is a small chance that there's an injury going into the start of the season that could change all that, but right now I'm just picking one from a team that I don't think I'm going to need three players from. So Ramsdale comes in goal. Again, I had Tomiyasu in defence, and spoiler, he's no longer in there. I've gone with a full premium defence, so Ramsdale's come in because I do like the opening run of Arsenal fixtures. He's also very good for save points and bonus points as well. I don't know how many attacking returns I really expect Tomiyasu to get, so I'm quite happy to go and get him in here. Now I did have Mendy in goal to start with, and then I've moved it to Ramsdale. Again, I just really like those Arsenal opening fixtures, and I like the Chelsea wing backs that I can afford in my defence, so I've gone with them over having Mendy in goal. But Ramsdale is the goalkeeper that I've decided to go with in this new draft. Next up in the defence, we start off, Trent has come into Robertson. So I did a video on Fantasy Football Scout's YouTube channel where basically I discussed the best premium defenders to own. And looking at the data behind it, I basically understood that Robertson had greatly overperformed at the end of last season. Trent's numbers were consistently better than all the other premium defenders. So he has come in here, and I do think I'll be wanting to start the season with him. There's a chance that I go with Robertson in this team as well. However, at the moment, he hasn't made it, and I have gone with Trent as my Liverpool defender pick. Now, next to him, we have Chilwell, and we also have Reece James as well. So I have ditched Mendy because I don't want a Chelsea triple up in defence, but I've gone with Chilwell and Reece James because I think their attacking threat is unparalleled to some of the others, especially given the price that they're at. Yes, Trent is great at 7.5, but Chilwell and Reece James at 6 million, if they don't have the competition that Azpilicueta has and the competition that Alonso gave them, I think at their price of 6 million, they could be absolutely fantastic picks for us going into this season. Again, they have a really nice opening run of fixtures. Everton away and Tottenham at home in the first two is maybe not that ideal, but I do need to remind myself that I'm picking these guys for their attacking threat, which we absolutely know they have. Again, Koulibaly coming in, signing for Chelsea, it seems. It looks like they'll be slightly more secure defensively than they were early in pre-season when they were looking like they'd have to play Thiago Silva, Chalobah, and maybe Azpilicueta or Sarr, depending on who stayed. And again, there's new centre-back signings means that I really think those clean sheet odds are going to stay at a similar level to last year, and then the attacking threat we know they have, but they might have a little bit less rotation compared to last year. Now, next up in the defence, we do have Diaz coming in at 6 million. Again, I speak about it a lot. I wish I could have Cancelo. However, it is one of those places that I'm very happy to go and downgrade to save that bit of money. Downgrading Trent to Van Dijk or Trent to Robertson is not something I really want to do. So I have gone with Diaz in here over Cancelo. In theory, I could go Trent to Robertson and use that 0.5 I've got in the bank to go Diaz all the way up to Cancelo. That could work, but again, I do want Trent in my team. Diaz and Laporte both have really good goal threat. They both scored goals last season, actually more goals than Cancelo scored, although Cancelo did pick up 11 assists compared to just 2 for Diaz. But they have a really nice run of opening fixtures. They know they are the best team defensively in terms of clean sheets. Maybe the attacking threat's not quite as good for him, but he is still a great pick. And I'm definitely having a Man City defender in my team. I'm just trying to work out exactly which one it's going to be. And finally, Perisic, again, one of the most underpriced players in the game for me this season. 5.5 million. Yes, he didn't start in the most recent preseason game, but he has missed a lot of training and a lot of minutes over the sort of past 6 months. I do expect him to have a big preseason and be ready to go with the start of the season. I am keeping an eye on it, whether Reguilon stays, whether Sessegnon might be giving him a bit of a rotation issue, because if all three of them stay, then it would be a bit of a problem for me. However, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Reguilon will probably leave, and Perisic has been brought in to be that number one left back. He doesn't trust Sessegnon enough, I don't think, Conte, and it'll be Doherty on the other side, rotating with Emerson Royale as well. Doherty at 5 million is definitely a player I'm looking at. If he starts the season like he ended the end of last season before he got injured, I think he could be an even better bargain at just 5 million. But Perisic is the one that I've gone with at the moment. Moving now into midfield, so Salah is in here. I did do a couple of drafts where Salah wasn't in it, and then I went with double Liverpool defence, and I went with Diaz in my midfield. So basically it was a team like this, but I ditched one of my Chelsea defenders and got Robertson in, and I sold Salah down to Son. Now, I do like that, and it is definitely a possibility. However, I think I've got to be realistic with the chances that I start the season without Salah in my team. 13 million, he's so highly owned. Great captaincy option for practically the first 6 game weeks as well. His ownership is going to be crazy high, and we know how he likes to start the season. Fulham, a team that are definitely capable of conceding goals, which is why I've gone with both Salah and Diaz in my team as well. So Salah is in there, and I don't think he's going to leave my team come game week 1. It's nice to play around with it and see what I can do, but I don't think it's actually going to happen. Next up, Diaz, again, a player I can't see why he's being priced at 8 million. I saw a highlights reel of him on my TikTok earlier about the goals he scored last season, and he is going to be an incredible player for Liverpool again this season. 8 million feels like such a bargain, especially given that Jota, for example, is up at 9 million and has been moved to a forward. Diaz showed at the end of last season what he's capable of. He's going to be filling that Mane void on that left-hand side for Liverpool. Again, at 8 million, I can't go without him. And finally, in the midfield, we do have Neto. Again, a player I can't see why he's been priced so cheap. They have an incredible run of opening fixtures. I wouldn't be surprised if he got 15, 20 goal contributions this season at just 5.5 million. He is that main man for Wolves. He's got goal threat. He could be on penalties as well, depending on if Neves is on the pitch. He's on set pieces as well. 5.5 million, and he has to sort of bounce back. Wolves were not the same team going forward without him last year, and when he did come back into the team, they did look a little bit better. So if he can revive his connection that he does have with Jimenez going into this season, they could be scoring a lot of goals again, and I really like what Neto can offer. But again, such a bargain price for a player that I'm pretty sure is going to play every single game. And finally, to complete the midfield, we have two 4.5 million midfielders. So we have Jack Colback at Nottingham Forest, 4.5 million, did play in a one of two-man midfield last season, a bit like the sort of Kovacic, Kante, Jorginho role that play at Chelsea. But again, I'm not really that fussed on him. He'll probably sit last on my bench or second last, depending on who my sort of forward striker is. It's okay. Pereira at 4.5 is that sort of main actual sort of backup on my bench. He is playing for Fulham, who have a very difficult opening set of fixtures, but he is going to be in that sort of attacking role, trying to link up with Mitrovic, trying to get those Fulham goals. Again, 4.5 million for Pereira. I think he should be the highest owned 4.5 million. If you are looking for that cheap midfielder, he's 100% the one I would go with at the moment. I did need a second one, so I have gone with the Nottingham Forest man, but again, I don't expect them to have to get on the pitch for me. And up front, again, probably the two most highly owned forwards at the moment. We do have Haaland in there and Gabriel Jesus. We also have Greenwood at Leeds at 4.5 million. Again, I think he's probably the most likely to get a little bit of minutes every game coming off the bench. He's never going to start for Leeds, but I do think there's a bit of a chance that he gets the occasional 5-10 minutes, and that's a 1 pointer on the bench, which could be quite valuable at times if there is a lot of rotation. And then in the starting, of course, we've got Haaland. I can't really see myself going without him. It was Haaland versus De Bruyne versus Son. I can't really see myself going with De Bruyne, given that he's 0.5 more expensive, and he takes up another midfield spot, which are, of course, most precious and easier to have a good backup, whereas a 4.5 striker is not really what you want. Again, Haaland versus Son is a little bit more difficult, and I do think Son and Kane have started pre-season well. However, I think that Haaland has that better opening run of fixtures, particularly that Chelsea-Tottenham game in Game Week 2 puts me off a little bit going with Son. So I've gone with Haaland in my starting team at the moment, and then Gabriel Jesus, another man who started pre-season very well, has had a couple of goals in his Arsenal debut, and I expect him to continue that form. He's leading the line, playing it up front, 8 million. He could be on penalties as well, because we're not really sure who's going to take penalties for Arsenal. It was Xhaka at times, it was Lacazette, then Saka took a few, now Martinelli might be on them. Again, I don't expect Martinelli to be on the pitch the whole time. Do they want a designated penalty taker? It could be Gabriel Jesus. anyway. At 8 million, I think he's been massively underpriced and he should be coming in all our teams. I think Saka versus Jesus is a pretty easy decision given what we've seen so far in pre-season. We know what Gabriel Jesus is capable of doing, so very happy with him to lead the line. So this is the 15-man squad, but let's have a look at sort of who's going to start. It might seem pretty obvious to you, and it is pretty straightforward about the 3 players I'm going to bench, but let's have a look at their fixtures for game week 1. Now, just before I do that, you know the colour scheme for Fantasy Premier League has changed. I have changed it and tried to change it back. I don't really know. So let me know if you like this blue colour or if you like the original purple. Again, switch it back. I personally like the purple, and that's what we're going to stay with for now, but let me know your thoughts. But let's get those fixtures up. So these are the fixtures that we've got. Ramsdale has Crystal Palace away. Then we've got Fulham away for Trent. We've got Everton away for Chelsea. You might notice that I have a lot of away fixtures in this team. Again, it's only Perisic that has that home fixture. Now, it means in game week 2, I have almost my whole team playing at home apart from Perisic, who goes away to Chelsea. But it is a slight concern for me in the very start of the season. However, Fulham away for Salah will be my captain. I think it's a great fixture. It's not like these are difficult away fixtures. The only potential one you could say is difficult is maybe Haaland going away to West Ham. And we know what West Ham did against Manchester City at the end of last season. But I do think Man City will want to hit the ground running and start well after a strong pre-season. So this is how my team is currently lining up for game week 1. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section. If you do want to join as a channel member and get all the benefits of that, there's a link in the description down below. If you haven't already, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. It really does help push these videos out during pre-season, aiming for 25,000 subscribers. Leave a comment down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll be back again very soon.